We did The Language of Love, How Communication Shapes Intimate Relationships. My name is Cecilia Alcock.
I'm Sierra Fields.
I'm Cadence Peralta.
And I'm Tori Thomas.
Love and communication are often viewed as the anchors of a successful intimate relationship. The quality of communication affects the relationship, which then leads the quality of the relationship to affect a couple's sexual interactions. While love is the emotional bond, it is communication that keeps the bond strong by nurturing and deepening the connection. However, the way people show love to their partner, friends, or family varies, and the way people communicate can significantly influence the strength of the relationship. Love is one of the most profound human emotions, and it manifests itself in various forms across all cultures. At the heart of all relationship challenges, good communication is extremely important to find the resolution. Communication plays a crucial role in all relationships, romantic and platonic. People who are happy with their sexual communication are more likely to be satisfied with their relationship overall. Effective communication is the cornerstone of successful love relationships as it fosters trust, emotional intimacy, and conflict resolution, ultimately strengthening the bond between partners and ensuring long-term fulfillment. Friendship and love helps us preserve our physical and mental well-being. Best friend relationships share major resemblances to those of romantic relationships, that being levels of acceptance, trust, respect, confiding in, understanding, spontaneity, and mutual acceptance, according to Yarber and Sayad. It is understood that friendship is a large foundation for a strong, intimate, and love relationship. Similar values and interests are at the base of a friendship and are at the core of a love relationship. Mixed sex friendships can turn romantic, but that is not always the case. In fact, increased happiness levels that have been found to be linked with marriage are also true for best friend couples who live together, even if they weren't married. The happiness expressed by these couples was linked to the friendship they shared. For individuals who have the support of others outside of their romantic relationship, it is important for partners to communicate and understand each other's level of comfort with emotional closeness and friendship. This is important if the couple wants a successful relationship. Communication is key. Almost half of mixed sex friendships face the experience of attraction to the other at some point. This does not always mean their friendship is weakened or doomed. That is, if they communicate what is being felt. Boundaries should be defined and perspectives should be shared when it comes to the communication within mixed sex friendships. Many couples consider friendships acceptable and even preferable. The success of balancing a romantic relationship with other friendships depends on the ability to communicate concerns and maturity of those involved, and the willingness to understand how the blend of friendships and love impacts marital satisfaction. For most, friends are there when you need encouragement, when you go through a breakup, and so much more. Friends are many people's main partners throughout their life, but it can also cause problems in a relationship when one partner is insecure or jealous of a friendship.
Jealousy is something that happens so frequently in relationships. In the textbook, it is stated that jealousy sets boundaries for the behaviors that are acceptable in relationships. The boundaries cannot be crossed without evoking jealousy. Jealousy can happen for many reasons, such as not spending a lot of time together, which create things in people's minds about their significant other. The definition of jealousy is an aversive response that occurs because of a partner's real, imagined, or likely involvement with the third person. Without the communication, jealousy can arise to cause even bigger issues, which can cause unfaithfulness. In a systematic review of romantic jealousy in relationships, romantic jealousy is a complex emotion activated by a real or perceived threat to the relationship. According to multiple studies, romantic jealousy is very common and is human nature.
Love and Sexuality, are very important aspects of human experience and influence our social dynamics and personality. Sex used to only be used when discussing marriage, but in today's society, marriage and love are not the only reasons to participate in sexual intimacy. In fact, it is not even necessary. There is a difference between emotional attachment and physical intimacy. How people express and discuss sex offers and shows their emotional attachment. Using expressions like making love or putting a label like lover on someone they are engaging in sexual activity with shows the emotional bond that they have with this person. Without these expressions, you can infer there is no attachment. Casual sex is becoming more and more common. Therefore, finding these expressions is so important when you are trying to find love. Men and women both approach sex very differently. Research shows that men are able to separate sex and love easier than women. Women are more likely to connect the two, allowing for trust and emotional safety to be present in their sexual interactions. A study by Bode analyzed the relationship between romantic love and sex in young adults. What was discovered was that romantic love, relationship longevity, and emotional intensity did not predict sexual activity. These findings challenge what the cultural belief was that love drives sexual activity and shows how different factors can influence the drive. Love also plays a role in the identity and experiences in LGBTQ individuals. Research shows that lesbian women experience more orgasms than heterosexual women. Sex varies between different relationships. Asexuality is when you have a lack of sexual attraction. People who are asexual can still have a wide range of sexual and romantic behaviors. And along with these psychological influences, cultural and situational factors are also important in how one views sexual behavior. Environmental factors, which include living arrangements and the amount of privacy someone has, can affect when someone can engage in sexual intimacy. Cultural factors like gender and sexuality can influence the different choices of someone. Research by Conley examines how social expectations can influence men and women when it comes to casual sex. Women are judged because they were taught it was not ladylike or appropriate. Women were considered dirty and impure. If anyone found out, they would be deemed a poor option for a partner and judged by others. Meanwhile, men can go out and sleep with whoever they wanted. They would be applauded by their friends for sleeping with anyone. Though society has had some progress when it comes to this, it is still a problem and is influenced if women engage in casual sex. Attachment theory offers a lens into how love and sexual intimacy can be understood. In this theory, it is said that every individual has an attachment style. There are three different ones, which are secure, anxious, and avoidant, which can be based on how they grew up. These different attachment styles show how an individual gets when they have a partner. People that have a secure attachment have emotional and sexual fulfilling bonds. Anxious attachment is the desire to have this closeness, but having a fear of abandonment and rejection. Therefore, there is a need for constant reassurance and validation. This can cause the emotional and sexual bond to lessen. On the other hand, if you are avoidant, you do not like to be vulnerable and struggle to open up. This can cause the emotional and sexual bond to become weak. Hartman explored these different styles and discovered that having an avoidant attachment style is more likely to report lower sexual activity and can lead to emotional distance. There are also 6 different love styles that were created by sociologist John Lee. The 6 styles were Eros, which is passionate and physical love, Mania, which is obsessive and passionate love, Ludus, which was playful and non-serious love, Storge was love that grows from friendship, Agape is selfish altruistic love, Pragma is practical and logical love, and these styles can be connected in many ways. Relationship satisfaction depends on the different love styles and how they align. Psychologist Robert Sternberg came up with another way to structure different relationships depending on types of love. He said that love consists of 3 main components, which are intimacy, passion, and commitment. There are the different types of love, which is liking is intimacy. Consummate love is all the 3 components of intimacy, passion, and commitment. Romantic love is intimacy and passion. Compassionate love is intimacy and commitment. Infatuation is passion. Empty love is just commitment. Non-love is the absence of all 3. And fascist love is passion and commitment.
Excuse me. Passion is extremely vital in relationships. Everyone wants to be loved, and to keep passion in a relationship can be hard considering everything that life throws at you. For a relationship to work, there has to be equal passion and energy. Without the passion, there can be a miscommunication or decrease of love and care. There are 3 things needed, which are commitment, care, and self-disclosure. According to Carbonell and Moore, the nature and extent of changes in people's lives as they become romantically involved may be predicted by the quality of their romantic passion. A lot of people tend to spend more time with their partner as they grow more passionate and intimacy. Communication is a transactional process by which we use symbols such as words, gestures, and movements to make contact with other humans. There are different components of communication, such as cultural, social, psychological, and nonverbal communication. Communication is how we are able to be ourselves. Humans are able to communicate using eye contact and other nonverbal ways, and it is understood worldwide. Communication in sexual relationships is so important because it is what keeps a steady, healthy relationship. Many people don't communicate their sexual experiences or knowledge, causing sexual intimacy to be low. We build relationships when we partake in sexual communications, causing us to have an impersonal sexual script, which provides us with instructions on how to behave sexually. Humans depend a lot on communication, and we use a lot of verbal and nonverbal ways to express our interest in another. A good example presented in the book was about gay radar, which is what a lot of homosexuals use to determine if someone else is homosexual as well. It's pretty cool how humans decipher things with the knowledge we have learned in our lives.
Communication can make or break any type of relationship. Good communication is central to a healthy, intimate relationship. Further developing your communication skills can better benefit any relationship. There is much stigma about sex talk. Sex talk presents people with many obstacles and tabooed sexual feelings that make it hard for people to talk about sex comfortably and more often. Sex talk can be embarrassing because of the bad connotation the word sex holds. Though many obstacles can be presented when it comes to sex talk, there are some ways that make navigating this topic easier. Self-disclosure, trust, and feedback are 3 keys to good communication. With self-disclosure, we discover things within ourselves that can help us to learn and grow. We also show off a side of ourselves that helps others better understand us. Trust and self-disclosure play hand in hand. Without trust, self-disclosure does not come easily. With trust comes a sense of vulnerability. When we tell others about ourselves through self-disclosure, we want to trust that the other person is someone you can be vulnerable around. Trust is also important in the sense that we need to have a healthy relationship, one where we can believe that our partner is saying what our partner is saying and not have to question their every move. Finally, feedback is important in developing communication skills as it allows you or your partner to grow and better each other. Feedback is also a way for someone to voice their concerns and allow the other person to then give feedback to the feedback, a continuous cycle. Together, these 3 keys to good communication can help develop your communication skills. Conflict is the process in which people perceive incompatible goals and interference from others in achieving their goals. Conflict and intimacy can arise at any point in time during your relationship. Conflict is not an uncommon thing to happen between any 2 people as each of their separate lives carry on. Though people might have a negative connotation towards conflict, sometimes it can be seen as moving towards growth. How people choose to handle conflict is the ultimate test to any relationship. By embracing vulnerability, compassion, self-reflection, and respect, couples can transform conflict into a pathway to deeper intimacy. The process begins with taking personal responsibility and committing to new, healthier patterns, ultimately strengthening the emotional bond and resilience of the relationship. By learning how to change and grow with your partner, then you can start a healthy relationship, one where you can set boundaries, create goals, and better each other while also bettering oneself. Communication is the bridge that connects sexuality and intimacy. It plays an essential role in forming different types of relationships. Additionally, it strengthens and helps the success of these relationships. It is also the foundation of understanding, connection, and physical and emotional intimacy between 2 people. Ultimately, how partners communicate affects their bond to one another. As stated before, effective communication is the cornerstone of successful love relationships. It fosters trust, emotional intimacy, and conflict resolution, ultimately strengthening the bond between partners and ensuring long-term fulfillment.
And these are our works cited. Okay.
Thank you.
Yay! Thank goodness.
Okay, guys.
That was good.
That was really good. That was take one pretty much.
No,
Yeah, it
literally.
was.
Wait, how many takes did it take your last group to do it?
Literally like 5. But it was a big group. It was literally like
Oh.
7 of us in the group.
What class was it?
I cannot remember what PH it was, but it was some PH class. I don't know. I've taken so many since I've they all just run along together at this point.
I'm glad we all got it finished. Thank you for making the PowerPoint.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. That was clutch.
For that one.
And
Yeah,
for setting the Zoom up. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Because I do not know how to screen share on Zoom.
No, I tried to read
Zoom
how to do it.
Live.
And I was like,
No,
I've
I've gotten points taken off of projects before because of that. And I'm like, send me how to do it. Like,
Yeah, give me instructions.
that's what I'm saying. All right. Well,
Okay.
thanks, guys.
Thank
Good job,
y'all.
guys.
Have a
Bye.
good one.
Bye.
Bye.